screen and let me know if you're able to see it or not. Just a second. Can you all see? You can give it a thumbs up. You can write in the chat box. Yes. Thank you for the response. Okay. So let's just focus on today's session, and that is about social science curriculum, where we will discuss about the curricular goals and competencies outlined in NCF 2023 and the new NCERT syllabus for class 9th secondary stage. Here we are going to focus about class 9th only. So what is today's agenda? The agenda of today's webinar: discussing about the curricular goals and competencies in detail, then moving to the NCERT syllabus and what all pedagogies you can use in your classroom when you are teaching social science subject, and what are the assessment techniques for the various disciplines. Here disciplines I'm referring to like geography, political science, history, and economics. So first, let's briefly discuss about the schedule of implementation of national curriculum framework. We all know that the first NCF was released in the year of 1975. Then it was revised in the year of 1988, then 2000, then 2005. And at the present, we have NCF 2023. Now, when we talk about this national curriculum framework, it is focusing on the competency-based education, where the focus is on making the learners competent rather than making them rote learners, moving away from passive learning to active learning. Here the focus is on the development of the various competencies of the learners, right? Rather than asking them to just memorize the content or the concepts. Okay, so let's discuss about this roadmap of National Curriculum Framework for School Education. Now, when we talk about this NCF, first of all, we have to keep in mind that it is developed based on the vision of National Education Policy 2020. Now, how many of you know about NEP 2020? You all can write down in the chat box that what is the purpose, what is the vision of this NEP 2020? Just one word answers in your chat box. We all have studied about NEP 2020. What it says: holistic development, overall development of the learners, move away from the rote memorization to active learning. Rather than teaching to all the students, let the learners become the masters of their own learning. You just become the facilitator, help them, guide them in the learning process, but let the learners become the ultimate learners or the masters of their own learning. It encourages students to become or to learn how to learn, right? It is focusing on the conceptual understanding rather than content memorization. Skill-based learning, overall development of the children, physical, spiritual, intellectual, right? Creativity, the 4 C's. Yes, correct. So based on these aspects, NCF was revised, right? The curriculum was revised. Now, when we talk about NCF, earlier we had 2 stages, from age 6 to 16 till class 10, and then ages 16 to 18 for the classes 11 and 12. Now, at the present time, we have 4 stages. One is foundational, which has 2 parts, then preparatory, then middle stage, and then secondary stage. So at the moment, we have the structure of 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, right? So foundational stage, it has 2 parts. First, earlier part is including Anganwadi or preschool. Then the later 2 years is focusing on the pre-primary. Then we have preparatory stage that focuses on grade 3rd to 5th. Then middle stage focusing on grade 6 to 8. And then secondary stage for grades 9 to 12. There we have 2 phases, first phase and Second phase. In the first phase, we have class 9th and 10th, and then we have 11th and 12th. And right now, we are talking about class 9 secondary stage. We have received the syllabus of NCERT for grade 9th only. Okay, now let's talk about curriculum. Quickly, all the audience in the chat box, when I say curriculum, what comes in your mind from this term, curriculum? What idea do you get when I say curriculum? Syllabus, right? Correct. So when I say curriculum, we are focusing on that during an academic year, what you are going to render in a classroom in a particular discipline, in a particular subject, what the students are going to learn in that particular discipline during that particular academic year. So at the moment, at present time, the curriculum has been revised across all the levels. When we are talking about the foundational stage, preparatory stage, middle stage, or secondary stage, it has been revised. The more focuses on development of the languages of the learners and having the interdisciplinary approaches. The more focuses on the understanding of the concepts rather than the accumulations of the facts and figures. Then we are going to discuss about the different pedagogies, where we focus on that all the pedagogies that the teachers, the facilitators, the educators use in their classrooms must be student-centric rather than teacher-centric. You must use such pedagogies that grabs the attention of the learners, right? Integrate digital technology in teaching is one of the important or one of the, required pedagogy at the moment, at the present time. Then try to focus on as much as possible for play and activity based learning. It makes the learning of the learners interesting, and they put their efforts, they enjoy their learning, they enjoy the subjects also. Even like you can use role play, dramatization, quiz, they will love it, they will love the subject, and hence they will be encouraged to learn about that subject on their own without any force of the teachers or the parents or anyone else. Then we are going to discuss about the assessment practices at the end of the session also, where the focus is on moving from the conceptual memorization to the conceptual understanding. Then assessment can be designed to test the knowledge and the application of a concept by the learners. It will help to foster the problem solving, critical thinking, and creativity of the learners. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about social science curriculum as per NCF, where we will discuss about curricular goals and competencies. Before we jump onto these curricular goals and competencies, we will discuss how NCF has outlined social science in the document. So it states the very first aim of social science subject or social science educations for grades 9 and 10 is to help the learners understand how the society works, what are the changes in the society across the time, how the society has evolved from past to the present time, what was there in the past, what is there in the present, and what is the scope. And this education also focuses on preparing the learners for a meaningful participation in civic life, making them global citizen, making them good citizen of India. So it focuses on three aspects. First, understanding society. That means developing the insight into social structure through different disciplines or different subjects. They will learn about the history, geography, political science, economics, the cultural aspects also. So by learning these disciplines, they will be able to understand their society, not of the present time only, but when they were not there, how it was evolved, right? Which was the first civilization that was established, that led to the settled life, the societies, the communities, and so on, right? So that's how they will be able to connect their present time to the past time, and it will make their learning more enjoyable. They will be able to connect with the subject also. Then the another important aspect is developing inquiry skills. The focus of teaching the social science education must be fostering developing the critical thinking, analytical thinking, problem solving skills through this disciplinary and interdisciplinary approaches. Then the last one is nurturing the responsible citizenship. The main focus of teaching the social science education in grades 9 to 10 is to make them responsible citizens of a nation or across the globe. So it focuses on instilling the values of justice, equality, compassion towards each other, sustainability to build active and responsible citizens. So that is the main purpose of having social science education in grades 9 and 10. Now we are going to discuss about the curricular goals and competencies outlined in NCF 2023. So particularly there are 9 curricular goals, and each curricular goals have, certain competencies. Like by learning these curricular goals, what all skills they are going to develop, what all understanding they are going to have. Okay. So first one is here, curricular goal 1, that talks about understands and analyzes the important phases in the Indian history and draws insight to understand present day India. Now this curricular goal has 4 competencies. So the very first competencies focuses on examine, reading, understanding the various historical events and processes by using the different types of sources to know the past and then connect it with the present time. And here we are specifically talking about the Indian history. Okay, the main focus is on to focus on India first, their immediate environment, their particular state, and then moving to the global level, national, then global. Now, competencies 1.2, it focuses on to explain and analyze the chronology of human life on the Indian subcontinent, focusing on the prehistoric area, the Paleolithic age, Mesolithic age, and then connecting with the establishment of the Harappan civilization and its connection with the other civilization also, like Mesopotamia, Greece, Central Asia, China, Southeast Asia, Arabia, and Eastern Africa, which was earlier not there in our book, right? Now, competency 1.3 traces aspects of continuity and change in different phases of history across the Indian subcontinent, including the cultural trends, social and religious trends, reforms, economic and political transformation. Now, competency 1.4 focuses on the growth of the new indigenous ideas in India, whether it was in terms of mathematics, philosophy, science, technology, medicine, architecture, agriculture, or even ahimsa, 6 systems of Indian philosophy, Ayurveda, yoga, then and so on. So here you can see we have interdisciplinary approach as well, right? Here the students are not going to talk about social science only, but going to talk about all the indigenous ideas which were there in India in these different fields. Next, curricular goal 2 is analysis the important phases in world history and draw insights to understand the present day world. So here you can see that this curricular goal is focusing on understanding the world history. Now, this curricular goal focuses on 5 competencies. The very first competencies explains historical events and processes with different types of sources with specific examples from the world history. So whenever we are talking about the history, we are focusing on examine the different types of resources, whether they are primary or secondary, to understand our history in a better way and can connect to the present day as well. Now we have next competency 2.2 that focuses that explains and analyzes the chronology of human life from its beginning to nomadism to settled life to other phases of human civilization. So here we are focusing on hunting gathering phase to the human civilization. Then competency 2.3 focuses on the traces, aspects of continuity and changes in these different phases of world history. That includes cultural trends, what all cultural changes were there, social and religious reform, and economical and political transformation. Now, next one we have competency 2.4 that explains the growth of new ideas and practices across the world. That focuses on humanism, mercantilism, industrialization, scientific developments and exploration, imperialism, colonialism, the rise of the new nation states across the world, then how they affected the course of the world history. So this this competence focuses on what happened at the past in these different aspects and how it is affecting at the present time, or how it was beneficial at the present time also, or what all changes were there during that particular period. Then we have competency 2.5 that focuses on recognizing the various practices that arose, such as those that we have mentioned in 2.4. So when we are talking about competencies 2.4, at that point of time, what all practices arose, that is going to be discussed in competency 2.5, like racism, slavery, colonial invasions, conquest, plunder, genocides, exclusion of women from democratic and other institutions. So this is all they're going to discuss. Okay, one thing that I want to discuss here is that when we talk about this curricular goals and competencies, this is the basic structures based on which the textbooks will be developed. Okay, now earlier, if we remember, there were 4 different books, right? For history, which book was there? For history, which book was there? Can you name it in the chat box? India and the Contemporary World Part 1 for class 9th. Then for geography, we had Contemporary India. Then for political science, we had Democratic Politics. And for economics, we have Economics, different book, right? There were 4 books, right? Now, when we are talking about at the present time, there will be 1 book referred as part 1. Now that part 1 will be focusing on these curricular goals and these competencies. So that's how you can see the whole curriculum has changed. The textbook will be developed based on these curricular goals. Now it is not compulsory that one chapter will be based on one particular competency. One chapter can have competency of 2.1, competency 3.1, competency 4.1, competency 9.1, right? So you have to be very clear about it, that all the chapters of grade 9 will be based on these curricular goals and competencies. There is no bifurcation of that this is history, this is political science, or this is social, or this is economics. The separate books are not there. Okay, now we have 1 book referred as part 1, and then we will have the different themes under which we will have different chapters. All the chapters will be based on these curricular goals and competencies. That's why I'm discussing these curricular goals and competencies. Okay, so let's just move ahead and continue. Now, the third curricular goal we have here is understand the idea of a nation and the emergence of the modern Indian nation. It has competencies, 2 competencies, 3.1 and 3.2. The third competencies 3.1 focuses on analysis the meaning of nation and how the concept evolved over time across the world and in the specific context of India. including its roots in the rich civilization history of the Indian subcontinent. So here we are talking about the meaning of the nation and particularly about India. Then competency 3.2, it focuses on the identification and analysis of the important phases of the Indian national freedom struggle against the British rule, with special reference to the movement led by Mahatma Gandhi and including other important figures as well, that led to this independence or freedom struggle. So here the students are going to talk about the Swadeshi, Swaraj, passive resistance. They are going to talk about the self-sacrifice, ahimsa, and so on. And we all know earlier it was a part of class 8 when they used to have this modern history period, right? Even if I talk about class 6, 7, 8, they had earlier it was different, ancient, medieval, and then modern. But now the middle stage has also changed, right? Those are also based on curricular goals and competencies. And similarly here also, the class 9 syllabus is also focusing on these curricular goals and competencies only. So it has completely changed. Now, talking about curricular goal 4, it focuses on the development of developing an understanding of the interrelationship between human beings and their physical environment and how that influences the livelihoods, culture, and the biodiversity of the region. Now, can you tell me to which particular discipline it relates to, or to which particular subject it relates to? If I'll talk about geography, history, political science, economics. Geography, yes, that's correct. So this particular curricular goal is focusing on the geography, right? And it has six competencies. First one is focusing on locating the physiographical regions of India and the climatic zone of the world on a globe and map. The second one is focusing on the important geographical concept, characteristics of key landforms, their origin, and the other physical factors of the region. The third competencies is focusing on drawing the interlinkages between the various components of the physical environment, like climate and relief, climate and vegetation and wildlife. So how these impact each other, that is the focus here, to bring that interlink between these components. Then competency 4.4, it focuses on analysis and an evaluation of the interrelationship between the natural environment and the human beings and their culture across the different region, that how the different region have a different cultures, right? And in the case of India, the special environment ethos that resulted in the practices of nature conservation. So here the focus is on conserving the nature as well. Then we have competency 4.5 that focuses on critical evaluation of the impact of human interventions on the environment, including the climate change, pollution, shortage of natural resources, and loss of biodiversity, and focusing on identifying the practices that have led to these environmental crises and the measures that can be taken in order to reverse them, right? So here we are talking about environment conservation. Then competency 4.6 focuses on developing the sensitivity towards the judicious use of resources and suggesting the measures for their conservation. So next one, we have curricular goal 5th, that focuses on the understanding of the Indian Constitution and exploration of the essence of Indian democracy and the characteristics of a democratic government. So can you tell me to which particular discipline it is related to? Civics, political science, right? Correct. So here, what is the focus? What learners are going to learn? What competencies they will develop? So there are 5 competencies that this curricular goal focuses on. The very first is understanding the Indian Constitution draws from the great cultural heritage and common aspiration of Indian nation and recalling all the India's early experiment with democracy, right? They're talking about the past time also, when there were assemblies, there were mahajanpadas, there were different republics who used to have, The assemblies, the sabhas, the panchayats, right? The sang, the ganas, they used to have all, democratic characteristics also, where there were different, sabhas, right? Where they, yeah. So that's is connecting with historical part. And then they will be connecting to the present democracy also, that what is happening at the present time in India, what happened in the past in India, and how democracy is rooted in Indian root also, and how it is continued and evolved at the present time, right? So that's they are going to learn in this particular competency. Then we have competency 5.2, that appreciates fundamental constitutional values and identifies their significance for the prosperity of the Indian nation. So the students are going to learn about the constitutional values, and they will identify that how they are important, significant for the growth of Indian nation. The next one we have is competency 5.3, that explains the fundamental rights are the most basic human rights, and they flourish when the people also perform their fundamental duties. So basically, in short, they are going to learn about the various fundamental rights and their fundamental duties outlined in our constitution. Next one we have here, competency 5.4, analyzes the basic features of a democracy and democratic government, its history in India and across the world, and compares this form of government with the other form of government. So the students are going to learn about the basic features of democracy, how it is prevalent in other countries, how it, and which all countries have this feature, this democracy, and how democracy is different from the other forms of government, like the monarchy, like dictatorship, oligarchy, and so on. And then they will be able to understand that how democracy is a better form of government than the other form of government. Then we have competency 5.5, analyzes the critical role of non-state and non-market participants in the functioning of a democratic government and society, like the media, civil society, social religious institution, and the community institutions. What are their role in democracy? Next one we have here, curricular goal 6, understand and analysis social, cultural, and political life in India over time, as well as underlying historical Indian ethos and philosophy of unity and diversity, and recognizes challenges faced in these areas in the past and present, and the efforts being made to address them. So which particular competency or sorry, discipline are we referring here in this particular no, it's related to political science only, right? Where they are referring to different, diversity faced in the past, at the present, and what are the measures made to, deal with this these diversities, how to bring the unity in the diversity, right? So here we have 4 competencies. One, we have 6.1, that focuses on the understanding of how the Indian ethos and the cultural integration across India did not attempt uniformity, but respected and promoted a rich diversity. Now, when we talk about Indian society, we know it is a diverse society, right? And but we all respect those diversity. And that is the main purpose of this competency, to make the students learn how to respect those diversity, even if you're talking about our classrooms, right? Then we have next competency here, understanding the different forms of inequality, injustice, and discrimination that have occurred in different sections of society at different time, whether it was in past or at the present time, but how we can come over these differences or these inequalities, and how our constitution also focuses on bringing the equality, right? So here the students are going to discuss about the various cultural efforts, the struggles movement, the mechanism at various levels towards equality, inclusion, justice, and harmony with varying outcomes and degrees of success. The next one we have here is competency 6.3, analysis aspects of different treatment or discrimination that may exist in the Indian society based on these socio-cultural background, region, language spoken, and what individuals and societies can do to eradicate those differential treatments. So basically here the students will be encouraged to think about the ideas to overcome these differences. What was there in the past, how it impacted the present time, and if it will continue, how it will impact the future. So the students will be encouraged to suggest those measures to overcome these differences. So hence we are focusing on making them responsible citizen, right, being empathetic too. Next one we have here 6.4, understands that a progressive society and nations like India is one of the recognizes not only its civilization but also its socio-economic, cultural, and political challenges, and continuously make efforts to address those challenges to become more ever more prosperous, inclusive, just, and harmonious nation. Next, here we have seventh curricular goal, develop an understanding of the economy of a nation with specific reference to India. So yes, which particular this curricular goal particularly deals with which discipline? Economics, correct. So here we have four competencies. The very first is about defining the key features of the economy like production, distribution, demand, supply, trade and commerce, and factors that influence these aspects. Now, if we'll talk about economics, we all know earlier it was related to Palampur village, where they were talking about the different, economic activities, non-economic activities, right? Now, this has been shifted to the middle stage, right? Grade 6, they are already exposed to this, economic part where they are learning about the different economic activities. Now, here in grade 9, they are being exposed to the various key features of the economic, like demand and supply, distribution, production, which was earlier a part of class 11, right? Macroeconomic. Now it has been shifted to class 9. So here you can see the whole syllabus has been changed. Now this competency 7.2, it focuses on evaluating the importance of the three sectors of production: primary, secondary, and tertiary, which the students must have learned in the middle stage only, right? And here we are talking about specifically Indian context. Now, competency 7.3 focuses on distinguish between unorganized and organized sectors of the economy and their role in production for the local market in small, medium, and large-scale production, and recognizing the special importance of the so-called unorganized sector in Indian economy and its connection with the self-organizing features of the Indian society. Then we have here competency 7.4 that focuses on tracing the beginning and the importance of large-scale trade and commerce, including the e-commerce that is very much famous at the present time, between one country and another, and what are the key items of trade in the beginning and the changes from time to time. So this is what they are going to discuss, learn about the trading, right? From the past to the present time. The second last curricular goal we have here is the 8th, evaluate the economic development of a country in terms of its impact on the lives of its people and nature. Again, it's dealing with our economic subject only. Now here we have 5 competencies. The very first is about gathering, then understanding and analyzing the data related to income, capital, poverty, and employment in one's locality, region, and at the national level. So here you can see the focus is in their immediate environment. The students will be asked in such a way that they have to find out, they have to analyze the data related to income, capital, poverty, or employment, first of all, of their immediate environment, their particular state, particular region or locality, and then at the national level. Then competency 8.2 focuses on the understanding and analysis of the concepts and practices of the range of economic system from free market to entirely state controlled markets. Then we have here competency 8.3, focusing on understanding these features in the context of ancient India. Again, you can see here is interdisciplinary approach. Now we are going to ancient India to know about these features. We are referring to the history with its thriving trade, both internal and external, and its well-established trade practices and networks, business convention, diverse industries, all of which made India one of the world's leading economies up to the colonial period, right? Now, the fourth competency here is describing India's recent path towards becoming one of the three largest economies of the world again, and how individuals can contribute to this economic progress. So here you can see the students are going to learn how it was, how India was thriving in the past till the colonial period, and now how again at the present time, it is moving towards becoming one of the three largest economics. So there is a connection from the past to the present time. So hence there is interdisciplinary approach. Then we have here fifth competency that focuses on appreciating the connection between economic development and the environment and the broader indicator of societal well-being beyond GDP growth and income. So this was all about our curricular goal 8. Now the last one we have here is curricular goal 9, understanding and appreciating the contribution of Indian through history and present times to the overall field of social science and the disciplines that constitute it. So it has only one competency that focuses on knowing and explaining the significant contribution of India to all the aspects, to all the matters, all the concepts, explanation methods that studied within the curriculum in an integrated manner. So here you can see this curricular goal is focusing on Indian knowledge system, like what happened in the past, what is happening at the present time in all the field of social science must have the contribution of India, right? Appreciating India, what it had in the past and how well it is doing in the present time, right? So all the curricular goals and competencies are here outlined in NCF 2023. And based on these curricular goals and competencies, NCERT has released its syllabus for grade 9. Okay, so the books will be based on these curricular goals and competencies, and it is not necessary that one chapter will be based on one particular competency or curricular goal. It can have multiple competencies in one particular chapter. Now, based on these curricular goals and competency, NCERT has released syllabus in two parts, part 1 and part 2. Now, here they have divided these curricular goals and competencies into various themes, and the themes are further including the various concepts. I will not discuss about here the curricular goals or competencies, as we have discussed about these in detail just right now. So we will focus on the theme and the concepts that are included in those themes. So the very first theme is understanding social science, and NCERT has allocated the times, the hours also that you need to spend for that particular theme. So here in this particular theme, it states that student must know the meaning of this subject, social science. What is the relevance, importance of learning this social science? What are the scope of this subject? Then understanding social science from an Indian perspective, so that students could connect, the learners could connect with this particular subject. And it is a must subject. Students will have this subject in part 1. Now, next one we have here, theme 2, shaping of the Earth's surface. So we all know it is related to geography. So this theme will include the lessons related to theory of plate tectonics, interior of the Earth, role of weathering and erosions, agents of gradation, river, waves and currents, wind, glaciers and underground water. And it will also includes the various landforms and disasters that can include earthquake, landslides, your glacial like outbursts, food and dust storms, and so on. The third theme is atmosphere and climate, which will focus on the structure and composition of atmosphere, elements of weather and climate, seasons of India, monsoon in India, climate change, floods, carbon footprint. Theme 4 is focusing on beginning of civilization. That will include the concepts of cultural development from 2 million years ago, early human history. Then it will focus on prehistorical area, archaeological ages, who were human ancestors, Paleolithic age, Mesolithic age, Neolithic age, then domestications of plants, animals, then how there was establishment of Harappan civilization. And here we have the, you know, uh, uh, the concept of other civilizations also, like Mesopotamian, Egyptian, and Chinese civilization, which was earlier not there. Even if we will talk about class 6, the students used to learn about only Harappan civilization. Now here they are going to learn about the various civilization like Mesopotamian, Egyptian, and Chinese civilization in class 9th. Then we have the 5th theme that talks about state and society up to 1000 CE. Here they will learn about the Vedic age, its geography, text, rituals, political institution and social order, administrative structure of early empires, quest for knowledge, educational heritage, institution, knowledge, traditions, and cultural practices, traders and trade routes, guilds, merchants, crafts, and industries. Then the 6th theme is democracy. So the 6th theme is dealing with your discipline, political science. Here, it will include the meaning of democracy, the features of democracy, types of democracy, roots of democracy in India that we have discussed, right? The Mahajanpadas, Sanghs, assemblies, republics, how they used to have all those different sabhas that depicted the idea of democracy to some extent. Then challenges to democracy in India, democratic system in the world. Next theme we have here, elections. Again, it is related to our discipline, political science. It will focus on the factors of importance of election, electoral system, delimitation commission, election commission of India and its role, constituency electoral rolls enumerators, party system in India. Now, this chapter was earlier there in our democratic politics book, but here you can see there is some revision. The limitation commission was not there, enumerators was not there, right? Now it has been included in the under this particular theme. The 8th theme is building blocks in economics. It will focus on the concepts like scarcity of resources, opportunity cost, and the need for making choice. What do economists do? What to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Difference between market centrally planned and mixed economic system and welfare economy. Then next one we have here, 9th theme, the price puzzle. What drives the market? It will focus on the concepts like law of demand and supply, real world deviations from textbook theory, such as in case of necessities, luxury goods, perishable items, and expectations. And it will also focus on the concept like some related like concept of price ceilings, market failures, and so on. So here we have the syllabus of part 2. So all of you, have you understood the syllabus of part 1? Like now we are not going to have the different books, the different 4 books. We will have only one book that will be based on these different themes, and all the concepts which are outlined in this document will be, yes, the syllabus is going to be implemented from this academic year only. Okay, so yes, so one book will include all the 4 disciplines, and it will be based on these different themes which will are going to focus on these particular concepts outlined in this document. Okay, for 6th, 7th, 8th also we have thematic approach, all are in one book. And for grade 9th also we are going to have all the disciplines in one book, and here we are following a thematic approach. Okay, and this book will be in 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. We have discussed the syllabus of part 1. Now we are going to focus on the syllabus of part 2. Again, I'll not discuss the sieges and competencies that we have discussed. So here in this part 2, we have first theme, ocean and life, related to, again, geography. It will focus on the concept like introduction of ocean relief, movement of ocean water, wave, tides, and current. Then focusing on marine resources and their significance, open seas, navigation, fishing, and livelihood concerns and challenges. And it is going to talk about some disasters also, like the cyclone and tsunamis, and what are their early warning system. And it will include the concept of international maritime rules and regulation. The next theme is life on Earth. Again, it is focusing on the geography part. It will have biomes, distribution and characteristics, biosphere reserves in India, forest and ecotourism, forest dwellers, their livelihoods and challenges, forest and wildlife conservation, government efforts to support forest dwellers. So these concepts will be including under the theme life on Earth. And it is not necessary that one theme will have one chapter. It is possible that one theme can have 2-3 chapters, focusing on the inclusion of all these themes and competencies. Then we have third theme here, building a resilient India, 1000 to 1700 CE, that will focus on the safeguarding sovereignty, resistance, alliances, and confederacies. Then development of art and architecture, languages and literature, the Bhakti tradition, forts and fortification, and expansion of Indian economy and state. Then we have here fourth theme in part 2, that is India and the World 1, 1900 BCE to 1200 CE. That will have the concepts such as trade and commerce, trade with Mesopotamia, Greece, Roman Empire, China and Southeast Asia. Then cultural connection, interconnections with Greece, Rome, Central Asia, China, and influence on Southeast Asia. Then it will also include Indian knowledge system, focusing on particularly medicine, mathematics, and religion, medicines and religion here in India particularly. The fifth theme, it is going to talk about authority, and here we are talking about political science. Now here you can see that it will focus on the concepts like the roots of authority in Kautilya and Shukraniti Dand, and relationship with Nyay and Bal, the types of Nyay and Bal. So you can see there is a connection with the history. So it is making interdisciplinary approach. First, they are going to learn about how this authority was prevalent in the past and how it is connected to the present, and why is it important, why there is important of Bal, Dand and Nyay. Then it will also focus on the concepts of like constitutional status of justice and security since ancient time to the present time, contemporary time, right? Then links the roles of citizens with the election and the democratic institutions, types of authorities, functional, sensitive, and welfare oriented. Then the sixth theme is related to economics, from ideas to startups. It will focus on what is the meaning of entrepreneurship, then explain the resources required to start a business, case studies of successful entrepreneurs, creative destruction with examples, startup ecosystem in India, Make in India initiative, role of MSMEs and the unorganized sector in India's economic growth. It will also include, this theme will also include the concept of different stages of starting and executing a business idea through a business plan, and some basic accounting concepts. So here you can see from grade 9, the students are going to learn the meaning of entrepreneurship. They will be brainstormed to learn about the different business plan, how to begin, how to execute, so that they can also become a good entrepreneurs, right? For the future, you never know, they might show their interest, right? So here you can see we are moving from the rote learning to the active learning, right? Connected with the real life also. The next theme here we have smart ways to manage your finances. Again, we are talking about economics here. Relevance of personal financial management in daily life is one of the concepts under this theme. Then this theme is also having concepts like inflammation and its impact on purchasing power, simple versus compound interest rate, budgeting, various savings and investment options like fixed deposits, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, risk and insurance, and personal income tax. So the students are going to learn how they can manage their finances also, right? And once they are aware about it, they can make sure that the other people around them are also aware about it. They can expand their learning. So that you can see part 2 was also following thematic approach. So part 2 will also have all the themes, and all the 4 disciplines will be included in one single book. Again, I'm saying class 9 will have 2 books, part 1 and part 2. Now, what are the pedagogies for social science? So when we talk about the different pedagogical strategies, we know that there are inquiry-based learning, project work, issue-based learning, then excursions, reflective essays, conversation, discussion, debates, dramatization, role play, and so on. So now, can you identify which all particular pedagogical strategies are used in these 3? Grade 8 do not have 3 textbook. Grade 8 also have 2 textbook, part 1, part 2. From class 7, they have 2 textbook. For class 7 also we have part 1. For class 2, for class 7, we have part 1 and part 2. For grade 8 also we have part 1 and part 2. And for grade 2 also we have part 1 and part 2 following thematic approach. And all the 4 disciplines, whether it's history, geography, political science, or economics, they all are in one book only. Okay, why specific types of occupations are more prevalent in specific or in your region? That is inquiry based. Dramatize survey, okay, correct. Dramatize the Gram Panchayat Corporation to explain the functioning of a democratic institution. That will be your B. Role play. You have to identify the pedagogy here. Yes, dramatization or role play. Then how will dams transform agricultural productivity in India? Speak in favor or against? C. Debate. That will be your debate. Correct. So can you all tell me that which all pedagogical strategies do you use or implement in your class while rendering your lesson plans or your teaching style? Okay, you use debate. Quickly, very quickly, you can write down debate, discussion. Do you use flipped classroom approach too? Yeah, flipped classroom approach. Yes, correct. Comparison. So here we can see it is no more teacher-centric class. Rather, it's a student-centric class or peer teaching also. Great. Nice. Quiz 2. How many of you have used Kahoot? Nice. Okay, great. You all are doing very well. Now let's talk about what are the pedagogies suggested in this NCF and by NCERT to teach geography. So the teachers who teach geography, you must be including, or you can include experiential learning. You can try to connect them to the real world and ask such questions which are related to their reasoning, which are fostering their reasoning or their analytical thinking, their critical thinking. In geography, you can use various visual representations. You can include 3D models. You can include the maps, right, to simplify the learning of the complex geographical processes like the mountains formation or the river system. Then you can also include or promote the field observations, so the students can visit a place, they can inquire particular skill, they can collect the data, and then they can share their learning. So that's how they will be engaged and they will become active participants of their teaching learning process. Then you can encourage the student to observe, analyze, interpret Earth's surface and human environment relationship. Now, all the geography teachers or the all the teachers, how many of you use Google? How many of you use Earth Google Earth? So you all can use Google Earth, where the students can be, you know, can get the experience from one place to another place. Like suppose a person who is in Bangalore, Hyderabad, or anywhere else and wants to visit Indian Parliament, the child or the teacher can enter, yes, virtual tour of those of that particular place, and it is very interesting. Do use Earth Google Earth, sorry. It's a fantastic tool, and that's how you can see there is an integration of technology. Now let's talk about that what are the pedagogies for history. So for history, try to involve all the documentaries or the movies. How many of you have seen this movie Lagan? What is it about? Lagan movie, Amir Khan. What is it about? Which concept they can learn from this movie, Lagan movie? Tax, correct. Which particular period of history? Revenue system, colonial era. And don't you think it will make the learning interesting? And hence the students will be encouraged to learn on their own. Once you have discussed all this, you will ask them, okay, now you go and you read your chapter. They will happily do it because they got the interest, right? Then you can include the different resources like Indian literary text, or you can have the different excerpts to show them about particular era, particular time, and it will make their teaching interesting. Yes, you can talk about this RRR movie also, Panipat also, right? And how many of you have seen? Okay, great. So we will move further for political science. Now, try to involve students to the present scenario, real world real life situations, conditions. Ask them to read the newspaper. You can ask them to watch the Sansad TV. You can ask them to watch the podcast, different documentaries, and different tables, concept maps that will make their learning very much easier. Then we have pedagogy for teaching economics. Again, ask the students to read economic times. They can you can use different maps, pie charts, and graph to interpret GDP, trade, and sectoral data. You can include the games related to budgeting, finance, and it will make the learning interesting. Okay, about the assessment, I will be very quick. When we are talking about the assessment, the NCERT says to move away from assessing their content and focus on their skill development, the holistic development, assess what they have learned, whether they have understood the conceptual or not, rather than having just pen paper test. There are various ways to assess them: oral assessment, peer assessment, right? Project. Then you have they can be involved in different field work, surveys, open book tests. So these are the various assessment tools that you can use to assess the conceptual understanding of the learners rather than the content memorization of the learner. Then we have formative assessment and summative assessment, right? Formative assessment is important for the learners to get the feedback, and it is also important for the teachers to know what changes they can make in their teaching strategies so the students can learn in a better way. Then summative assessment, it happens at the end of a particular period or academic period to give the feedback to the parents and to promote the learners to the next class. So here, can you categorize that which is a formative assessment and which is the summative assessment? Quickly. Board exams, is it formative or summative assessment? You can write F for formative, S for summative. Summative assessment, asking students to draw a concept map. Formative assessment, B. Formative. Term and test, formative, summative. Term and test, summative. Collaboratively writing sentences about a poem, formative or summative? Okay. And what I have done right now, is it a formative assessment with you guys or summative assessment? Right, formative, correct. Okay. So now here, as we have discussed about NCERT syllabus for grade 9 and the book in two parts, part 1 and part 2, NCERT has just released their syllabus based on themes and concepts and curricular goals and competencies. There are no books by the NCERT, but Goyal Brothers Prakashan has developed this series, Gateway to Social Science for grade 9. Both the books are there in the market for part 1 and part 2. Both these books are based on the curricular goals and competencies that we have discussed. It is based on themes that we have discussed for part 1. Here you can see the content page of part 1 that includes all the 8 themes and all the chapters that are there in under these themes. And here you can see the content page of part 2, including all those 7 themes and all the chapters that are under these themes. Okay. So when we are talking about these 2 books, it is completely based on the new NCERT syllabus, and all the questions are according to the latest CBSE examination pattern, and it is completely effective from academic year 2026 and 27, as we have seen the syllabus, and these books are based on that syllabus for part 1 and part 2. It is completely aligned with the NAP 2020 and NCF 2023, and it also has one of the important feature, that is your AI powered or AI buddy. Now this AI buddy, it provides the worksheets. It quickly, instantly resolve the queries of the learners, and the learners will get their customized assignments and topic wise notes also. You will not find this AI buddy in any of the other book, only in these books provided by, developed by, published by Goyal Brothers Prakashan, right? And first of all, this AI buddy, it focuses on resolving the conceptual confusion or doubts of the learners within the lesson only. It will not provide the answers of any question which is out of the lesson. So thank you everyone for being patient here, and I hope all the doubts are clear. Yes, yes. This book can be available in Kuwait also. I think the pamphlet that you all have received to register, there is a number you can ask your queries. Yes, these 2 books are also available in Middle East. Gateway to Social Science, part 1, part 2, both. So, okay, you have got part 1. Yes, part 2
Ma'am,
you
all
will.
teachers get specimen copy, specimen book.
Yes, yes, the teachers will get it. I have said now that I have told you right now, the pamphlet or the information from where you have registered for this session, you must have got a number for all the queries and for the specimen. You will get it.
Excuse me, ma'am, I have one doubt.
Yes.
How to go ahead with the teaching? MTP planner. Should it should be based on section wise or sequence the way it is given?
See, it depends. See, if I talk about the planner, you all make planner for your next academic session, right? So it depends upon you that which particular theme you need to include according to the allocations of times. So there are different times for the different themes. So it's not necessary that you have to go in a sequence. You want to pick up theme 1, then theme C, then theme E, you can do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do
So,
have a one
ma'am, there would
question.
be two
Does the
textbooks or one
NCERT has
textbook?
released the book?
Sorry, one at a time.
I do have one question. Does the NCERT has released the official social science book with the new
No,
themes?
NCERT
Then
has
how
only released the syllabus.
then how do come the Goyal Prakashan knows about that there is a term Mesolithic sites? Which sites are going to be included in the NCERT or not? And is there any
See,
CBSE curriculum
there
released
can be
regarding the class
differences.
9?
They might have the different. They might have 10 sites include. We have in or the Goyal Brothers Prakashans have included 8 sites. But overall, the books are developed based on these
No, no.
curricular
Then
goals only.
the Goyal Prakashan book is not competent with the NCERT books. The NCERT has not released the books yet. Then how
Exactly,
come you have
exactly.
prepared the
We
new
are
books?
see if I'll
Uh,
talk about the if we are talking about the curricular goals and competencies, we are focusing on that at the present time. There are no NCERT books, right? But we have to provide it for the coming upcoming NCERT like upcoming academic year. So those books are developed on these curricular goals and competencies.
So these are not 100% apt books, number
These
one.
are apt
And
book as these
number
are
two,
based on
number two, ma'am, this is only the NCERT draft. The schools and the whole examination goes around the CBSE curriculum for class 9th and 10th. I want to ask that it is only NCERT draft which is being released. No book has been released now, and no CBSE curriculum is there up till now. Then why are we hyping this much? So, like, I am not getting the things. We go by the
it's not
official
about the
notification and
getting the things.
official NCERT books only.
It's just like we have a syllabus, we have a prescribed learning standards, learning goals, and then competences based on which
Ma'am,
we
the
have
learning
connected.
goals maybe they can include the universal facts.
Ma'am,
We
I think
have
I
to
have
go
cleared
by
your
the
doubt.
CBSE
All the books
curriculum
that
only.
if you have
Definitely,
the
ma'am.
can I?
confusion, I
How
agree
can
to
we
it that
confident
NCERT book
about?
is not there, but there are schools who want to teach and go ahead with these curricular goals and competencies, so they are fine with it also. And if you will talk about these books, they are competent with these curricular goals and competencies. That's my all answer to you. Yes, you will find
Ma'am,
it.
so there would be two textbooks or just one textbook with both the parts?
There will be books. One will be focusing on the syllabus of part 1, and the another one, part 2, will focus on the syllabus that we have discussed of part 2.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Hello,
Yes,
ma'am. But
ma'am.
don't you think that it is a vast syllabus for standard 9 because as per the syllabus, it is somehow matching with the standard 11?
See, even if it is matching with the syllabus 11, we have to focus on the grade, like age. So the content, the concept will be age and grade appropriate, even if the concepts are of 11, but it will be grade and age appropriate. Like just like in class 6, if you will see, there is introduction of economic activities, the work around us. But if you will see the level of the concept, it is grade and age appropriate. So don't worry about that.
But this can be considered as a reference book right now, ma'am, because
Yes, it can be.
yes,
If you, yes, it can be. See, right now there is no book, right?
yeah,
And we have to teach. Like we have
yes.
to continue with the academic session. So till now we do not have NCERT textbook, but we have the curricular, right? There might be differences. Like if I talk about in history, they have talked about Mesolithic age, only 10 sites. NCERT
Mhm.
has included or might include 12 sites. So it is this, I think this conversation is endless. What they will include, what they will not have. But for this academic session, if I talk about the references, you can do that. That's not an
Padmaji,
issue.
Padmaji,
Yes, sir.
Padmaji, can I speak on your behalf?
Yes, sir. Yes.
It's not
The
authenticated, sir.
the question which sir was asking, I am just answering to that question. That NCERT has released a syllabus, and it's a complete syllabus. Whatever content fits into that, that is the curriculum. If NCERT is publishing a book or XYZ is publishing a book, you have to see whether the syllabus, because that is the basic. If the syllabus is being followed, and Along with that, the many other things happen in a school management system. That is that how first person reasoning questions, whether they are case studies based questions, whether all these kinds of questions which are very important in class 9 and 10, which is not there in the NCERT book in detail. That is all being covered in this book. And the third thing, we have published this book. It is not a reference book. It is actually a textbook because it is completely following the syllabus which has been released. Even the NCERT book which will come, that will follow the syllabus. So we feel that if the NCERT books comes in July or August, we will fill up the gap. If the school is teaching through one chapter released, as we have heard, one chapter released on the website of NCERT, you have a complete book. So it is completely up to the teacher and the school to accept or to appreciate that it is a textbook or it is a reference book. But we feel that it's a complete textbook with
Yes.
all the other aspects which are there student, for a teacher, for a school management system. This is what I can speak on behalf of you, the presenter.
Yes,
And
completely.
I believe that the sir who has asked the question, it answers to his questions.
So regarding one more doubt regarding that, what madam has said that this curriculum is going to implement this academic year only. But still, we didn't get any updates from the CBSE board or any circular. It is still
See,
we didn't get any circular.
if you are following the websites and the social media, social science is a very there is for class 8 book, there is a lot of controversy happening, and the book has been returned. NCRT, some of the teachers are going there. They are aware. Those who do not go there, because you are at a distant place, you don't know, it is in a very different condition. What you have to see, that what is required as per the curriculum and what is required as per the need of the student. If you are fully satisfied, you can go ahead with it. This is what I can tell you about it. The things which are not come in concrete form, they may come some part in March end, and largely, and the fully published book you can get very late. So we feel that as a teacher or a school management administrator, you have to look into these aspects whether it is worthwhile or not. But the version which has come, that it is a reference book, it is not exactly the reference book. It is completely a textbook
Textbook,
kind of thing.
yes.
I'm using kind of thing because it is not exactly published by NCRT, but it is exactly following
The
the
curricular goals and
curriculum.
competencies.
Curricular goals and competencies is the fulcrum on
Key.
which the entire teaching system has to revolve.
Yeah.
And it is completely following that, adhering to that. And if you have, we will arrange for the this specimen copy for you. Once you see the physical copy, you will understand that what I am saying is completely true.
Right.
Okay, one question from my side, sir. I am Roma Acharji calling from this DPS Dimapur. So just I want to know, as you are saying, you people are having a very clear idea about the CBSE and all, but can I know when they will publish the e-book? Because what you are suggesting, that this is very nice that you are giving a complete material related to the curriculum which was provided by the CBSE. But parallelly, it
Ma'am,
is also.
I am a private party and we are not
Hmm.
supposed to speak about it. But first hand information is that there is a lot for controversy. It has been withdrawn. If you are reading the newspapers or you are reading the news on
Yeah,
the
we are going
websites,
through, yes.
so this is a NCRT has been attacked by from all corners.
So are
There
you sure
everything is
this year
ready.
they will come up with this syllabus? Because as the controversy is going on,
Syllabus is
book.
already out, ma'am. For
Ah,
class 9, syllabus is already out. For 11, syllabus will be out very soon. For class 10, syllabus will be out next year. And for class 12, syllabus will be out next year. Class 9 will go in class 10. He will attend the new syllabus.
Yeah,
So
that's why
10
I
and 12
understood.
next year.
This year it's
And
9 and 11.
and if the printed book is not available, you will get maybe from NCERT a chapter or so to begin with. But here, what we are providing you, because ultimately the book will come based on this syllabus only. So the complete book is available to you. So you can decide.
Means it
It's
is a
completely your decision.
parallelly you are keeping one more supporting material, but what I believe, what I feel is that the textbook which will come out, obviously you are saying that topics will be same only, but maybe inside some material, some of the things may not be exactly the same. So that's why I just want
If you follow the curricular goal and competency format, ma'am, there is
Yeah.
no scope to digress for anybody. If you follow that, even if you write a book, it will be same as NCERT printed book. Actually, the main important thing is curricular goal and competency.
Yeah.
And if you adhere to that completely, there is no scope of writing something else. If A writes or B writes or C writes, it will be the same thing. They have monitored it, and they have provided the guidance in such a manner that you have no scope to digress. You have to follow a system, and there are topics given. Based on that, you have to carry out the classroom teaching. This is what it is.
Okay.
Sir, I have doubt one. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Hello, ma'am. I wanted to ask you that part 1 and part 2, when we are planning the syllabus in MTB for term 1, is it necessary in a term 1 to cover from the part 1?
Part 1 is available, na, but
Part 1 is
Both the
available, and you have to follow in currently when the session begins, you have to follow the part 1 only.
yes, sir.
Because then you have, by default, you have no alternative also.
Yeah. That I think
good-
that depends
Padmaji,
upon
you
the
can
school's
answer this
choice.
question.
Sorry. Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Padmaji, can you take up this question?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah,
Good
I'm
evening.
Sunita from Doha, Qatar. We
Yes,
are
ma'am.
attending this seminar from Doha, Qatar. When we are registering for our e-certificate that was given to us on the screen, Doha is not mentioned in that. So
Okay,
will you
I'll
please
just
check out
convey
and
to the person who has provided this link.
yeah, please.
Yeah,
We'll
Mr.
be
Behel,
grateful.
Amit Behel will take care of that. Don't worry
Yeah,
about
don't
that.
worry.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
The key person in Kuwait is Mr. Amit Behel. He will
Yes,
handle it.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you everyone for being such an active listeners and discussing all your doubts with us. I hope all the doubts are clear now. It's completely a textbook, Gateway to Social Science, Part 1 and Part 2 for grade 9 for this upcoming academic session 26-27. And it is completely based on all the curricular goals and activity that we have discussed in details. It is based on all the concepts that we have discussed under these themes. The book name is Gateway to Social Science, Part 1 and Part 2. And here you can see the content pages also.
Excuse me, ma'am. Right now, both the parts available or only one?
Part 1 is there. Part 2 is going to be there within 1 or 2 days. So both are there. That's how you can see the content page. Now both are there. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Sorry.
Hello, ma'am. Grade 8, is it available, both parts?
Grade 8.
Grade 8 Part 2 has been withdrawn, sir. It is not available. We don't know what is going to happen.
Yeah.
Sir, from Goyal Prakashan, I'm asking.
Sir, from your side.
Government, so we are also afraid. Everybody is afraid.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you.
So it's not there. Yeah. Part 1 is there, not Part 2.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. I'll end up this session. Thank you for being such a good audience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for a wonderful session.
Thank you very much.
And we'll keep looking
Thank you,
forward
ma'am.
for
Thank you
more
very much.
sessions from your side. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
That I am still having a doubt. Will you please solve it? That regarding this planning the MTP, that is it necessary to go with the sequence?
See, if I talk about MTP, it is related to what you have taught, right, during that
Yeah.
particular part. If
Yeah.
I talk about your formative assessment,
Hmm.
the part that you have teach, you have to include from those chapters. Right?
Okay,
If
that
I
is
talk
true that I
about the
need to take
whole
from
year,
that.
the full session, then you have to include for both the parts.
No, I'm talking about, is it necessary to go with the sequence which is given
No,
in a
it's
part
not
one?
necessary to go with the sequence. Again, I'm saying it totally depending upon the schools, how they
Like,
want
I
to
may
take
take,
these
yeah, history,
lessons.
geography. I may take in a that way also, no?
Yeah, history, geography, political science, the way it was earlier. So there is
Okay,
no
same
issue
way.
in that. Yeah.
So history, geography. Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
But
So
this
part
time
one
all the
deals with the
subjects
term
are
one,
in
and
one
part
book.
one deals with the term one, and part two deals with the term two. Is it?
Yeah, you can do that also.
Okay.
That's not an issue.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
do it like this: part one in one term, part two in two term, and then both in
Okay.
how you do it, the percentage for the final term, that completely depends on you.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Have a good day.
Have a good.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
everyone.
ma'am. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am. In the
Yes,
Middle
ma'am.
East, actually, textbook is available right now.
Yes, it is available, ma'am.
Okay, we didn't get any copies right now. That's why
I
I
guess
asked.
if you see wherever you got the information for this registration, there you must
Yes.
have you must see a number also for the
Okay.
queries. So there you can put
Okay.
your query, you can drop your query, and you will get the specimen also.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am,
Thank you,
do we
everyone.
have project?
No, the project is not released yet.
Okay.
So we do not have the project list. We have just the chapters, the themes, and what all concepts will be included, those themes, and the curricular goals and competencies, not the project at the moment.
And interdisciplinary chapters are also not allotted separately?
No. If you will see here only, in these themes only, they have included this interdisciplinary approach.
Okay, so
Ma'am, if you could just share the attendance link once again.
Let me just scroll through the chat. It was someone else who gave the attendance sheet. Just a second.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Your voice is
Maps
breaking.
and all are included.
Yes.
Maps are included in the ma'am. Ma'am.
No. There is no separate.
Maps
There is no separate syllabus for the maps, ma'am. Okay. Okay, everyone. Have a good day. Have a good evening. Take care.